This afternoon, we heard from Toronto Mayor Olivia Chow about the city potentially working with the Toronto School Board to use some of their vacant land for community purposes. What could this mean for the board budget? That is unclear at this point. Meanwhile, Education Minister Stephen Lecce is rejecting the Toronto District School Board's proposal to close schools in an effort to balance its budget for next year. So let's break this all down. Joining me now is Tina Yazdani. What does this all mean, Tina?
Yeah, Melanie, well, the TDSB needs to climb out of a $27 million hole in order to balance its budget next year. And they had suggested one way to do that is to close some schools in certain communities in the city, while the Education Minister quickly refusing that. Not only is the TDSB requesting that, they actually want the moratorium on school closures imposed by the previous Liberal government lifted entirely. They say they're paying millions of dollars to address aging infrastructure, heat, water, maintenance, things like this at schools that are underused. Some of them are sitting half empty. And the TDSB, they say, Toronto has a good opportunity to do this, as many schools are near each other in the same community, so it's a good opportunity to consolidate some of these schools. But again, the Education Minister quickly turning down the TDSB's efforts. Not only is Stephen Lecce refusing, he's gone as far as to say it is incredibly clear that the board lacks the capacity to manage its budget. He's also pointed to a $128 million boost in funding since 2019, but the TDSB, of course, says that's not nearly enough. Here's more from them.
While we appreciate some additional funding from the province to address a maintenance renewal backlog of more than $4 billion is a monumental task. Some of that money could be essentially taken off the books if we are allowed to consolidate some schools that we know are aging, would cost millions to repair, and we know are underutilized. So we can begin to chip away at that.
Tina, you mentioned you spoke with Education Minister Stephen Lecce, standing firm with regards to his position. What was his exact response?
Well, yeah, so Stephen Lecce says his government is actually doing the opposite of closing schools. They've just invested billions to open new schools across Ontario. So that is his government's priority, especially as the government tries to, increase housing. And to meet housing targets, of course, you need communities with schools. Here's more from him.
So my message to the board continues to be that they need to act as a responsible actor of tax dollars and do what virtually every board will do, which is balance their budget. Our government's priority just days ago was to unveil the largest investment in school building history. We more than doubled the funding. That's our priority.
Now, the Ministry of Education also says they have yet to receive a formal proposal from the TDSB on how they're going to balance their budget. They want a serious plan from them. Opposition members here, I had a chance to ask, Marit Stiles, John Fraser today about this. They're kind of uncertain if this moratorium should be lifted. They actually think that the government should just be funding, school boards properly. So we'll have a lot more on this and reaction from them tonight at 5 and 6. Melanie.
Excellent. That is our Tina Yazdani reporting for us from Queen's Park. Thank you so much.
Thanks.